Dukes weren't hazardous. She's only 17, made us curious. It was a carefree time. How about we jump back and rewind? We were living on Winger and a prayer, just garbage pail kids with mullets and big hair. Let's open up another pack. Gen X wants their future back. Break out the denim jackets and faded band patches. Share memories, Polaroid captured. It's the Gen X marks the spot podcast.
Welcome to Gen X Marks the Spot podcast. From the Wherever I May Roam studio, I am your host, Joe Augustine. Today, I want to introduce you to a band that is absolutely crushing it right now. And if you haven't heard of them yet, you need to start paying attention. I am talking about all the way from the north in Canada, the band Deraps. Now, Deraps is not trying to reinvent the wheel when it comes to hard rock whatsoever. And you know, that is what makes them exactly so damn good. These guys are capturing the sound and the essence of rock and roll in a way that leads you straight back to California's Sunset Strip in the late 70s and early 80s. We are talking about the era when a new generation of bands rocked the global scene. And if you are a fan of Van Halen, David Lee Roth era, then Deraps is the band for you. You can hear it in every riff, every solo, every ounce of energy they put into their music. But here's the thing. They're not just paying tribute to the past. They're living it, breathing it, and making it relevant again. Case in point, founder, guitarist, Jacob Deraps. He just signed a worldwide publishing deal with Anthem Entertainment. And for those of you who don't know, that's the same company that represents the legends of Rush. That's a major vote of confidence in what this band is doing. And the proof is already out there. Deraps released their second album, Viva Rock and Roll Worldwide, on May 23rd, 2025. And in the first week out, it was the #1 best-selling hard rock and metal album in Japan. And believe me, those fans in Japan, they don't mess around. They love their 80s hard rock and metal. So if you're looking for something real, something that rocks without any apologies, you gotta check out Deraps and my interview with Jacob Deraps. Because believe me, when it comes to this band, rock is not dead. It is alive and well, and it got a Van Halen-sized chip right on its shoulder. So without further ado, I think that's a Canadian word or French word, here is my interview with Jacob Deraps. So Jacob, welcome to the Gen X Marks the Spot podcast.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Hey man, no problem. Listen, I have to say, I had the opportunity, as I told you off air, to listen to many of your songs. And there are so many standouts. I gotta say, if there is ever a band that is keeping rock and roll alive, it's yours.
Thank you very much. It means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoyed the music. That's why we make music. For fun and for people who like it as much as we do.
There's so much of Van Halen influence in your music. Now,
absolutely.
Now, I understand that I don't know how far back, but you started turning heads with your Van Halen covers on YouTube.
It was definitely just to share my talent and passion for the instrument. I've been playing for a couple of years when I started YouTube. I was really young, actually. I hadn't been playing for a long time. I think I was 13, my first videos, which means I was probably a guitar player for 2 years. And I just, I wanted to get out there and just show what I could do and show what I loved. It was just sharing my passion. That was the whole goal of it. There wasn't really any intention behind it, but people quickly liked it, and I started liking it more, and I wanted to share more, and that's how the whole YouTube thing started for me. There was a great response to what I was uploading at the time, and so naturally I was drawn to it, and I wanted to do more. Yeah.
Now, eventually, word got out to the Eddie Van Halen camp, and
Yeah, the Van Halen news desk. Yeah.
yes, to the news desk, and they praised your playing, and eventually you became Eddie Van Halen sponsored.
This year, actually, now I'm sponsored by EVH. That started this year. So that's yeah, the Van Halen news desk thing was a long time ago. I think my first article with them was I was 17 the first time, and then I did it many times after that. And yeah, it wasn't until this year that I actually started working with EVH, Charvel, Jackson, uh, which is all Fender. And these guys have been so amazing to me. Mike Tempesta, what a great guy, and offered me so much support, sending me these guitars that I love, and I'm making videos and, promoting them. And it's been a ton of fun. And those are my dream guitars. He sent me for example, the EVH 79 Bumblebee, the
Ugh.
EVH Stripe series. So it's like black and yellow, and that was one of my favorite guitars ever. And they sent that to me. Bunch of Wolfgang's guitars also, which I really love. A Charvel, a Jackson. They're all fucking fantastic guitar. I love them. Working with my Guitar Heroes brand is a dream come true. I mean, there's no other way to put it. That's those guitars have always been a dream for me.
Now, before Eddie passed, did you ever have a chance to meet with him?
I didn't. I got to see him live in 2012 in Montreal. Got to see him with Van Halen. They were playing a show, and that was my 16th birthday. My dad bought me a ticket for the show, and that's really I'm so glad I'm so glad he did. Because I have that memory forever in my mind. I remember Eddie walking on the stage, and it's just fantastic, just amazing. I'm glad that happened.
That is one hell of a birthday gift for 16.
That's insane. Yeah, that's amazing. That's life changing.
You're from Quebec, correct?
Yeah, yeah. From the Quebec area, uh, the province. I'm in a little town called Saint Georges de Beauce.
Now, you're making a lot of headway up in the Canadian rock scene, and you had your first album come out in 2022. But
Yeah,
now you're finally bringing Deraps to America for the first time starting in February.
exactly.
Now, how does it feel to be standing on the edge of this moment? Now, I know you've toured with some pretty popular bands. I believe Loverboy was one of them, Foreigner.
Yeah, it wasn't a full tour though. It was just one opening show that we did. We opened for them in Toronto at the Budweiser stage, a massive stage, massive venue. So it was one show we opened for Loverboy and Foreigner, and that was it. Yeah.
Now, you had mentioned that touring the US has always been a dream of yours.
Definitely. It's always been a dream, and it's always been the goal, because I've been making these videos and building up my socials for a very long time, and most people that follow me are in the U.S., so my fan base is in the U.S., so that's the first time that I'm going to be playing in front of most of my fans, which, it makes sense, but it has to be done properly, and you need the visas, and you need to get booked in venues and stuff like that. So we couldn't do it before, but now we have the right team to do it. We have the right setup, so it just makes sense now, and I'm excited. I don't know what to expect at every show. Obviously, I can't. You know, I'm hoping that it's everything that we hope for, and I'm sure it's going to be awesome because we get out there, we play our music, it's like a big party. We have fun, it's rock and roll, it's loud, and it's done just like it used to in the 70s. And I'm hoping that people come out and have fun with us. It's just and it's the first time that we go in the U.S. market, and we're hoping to do it again after that. We're hoping that this kind of opens the door for more, as I would say. Yeah.
Well, I know the press has raved about your live shows.
I think it's, the guitar aspect of it. I mean, I'm a guitar player and I play Guitar Hero stuff like Van Halen, Guns N' Roses, and I love virtuosic aspect of guitar playing from, the 80s and the late 70s, like Van Halen, Dokken, White Lion, all these guys. And I think there's not a lot of bands that really focus on that kind of guitar sound and playing these days. There's a bunch of bands that doing the 70s stuff out there and doing the Zeppelin stuff, but not a lot of Guitar Hero style bands. And I think that's what we do, and that's what we're trying to keep alive, and that's what we do differently. And also, I show up with a Marshall stack cranked all the way up, and it's loud, and it's just like it used to in the '70s. I think people miss that kind of stuff, and that's just not what most people do these days. Bands don't do that kind of stuff. They will listen to the sound guide, turn it way down, and that's I've never done that.
That's awesome because, I was just watching some of your performances as well, and it is definitely high energy.
Yeah, yeah, cool, awesome, thank you. I appreciate it, and yeah, that's what we want. We want to. I'm having fun on stage. I'm having a lot of fun, and I don't think about it. It's just there's a lot of energy, coming from that band, that music, and people feed off of it in the audience also, which is great. So yeah, it should be a blast in the U.S. I can't wait.
Well, you seem pretty grounded. Even though you're in your 20s, you've already been called the best international guitarist. How do you stay grounded when accolades like that are starting to pile up?
I don't really think about that stuff. If it happens, then great. I just don't think about it. I play for fun. I do what I love. That's the way that I see it. I basically play for myself. And people like it, and that's what's important.
You're signed to Metalville Records and have a publishing deal with Anthem Entertainment, and I believe they represent Rush as well, correct?
They do, yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's huge, man. I mean,
It is. That's one of the greatest like achievement that I've done, having that publishing deal, which allows me to live off of my music and making what I love. And I'm fortunate. I've worked like hell for that kind of stuff to happen to me. Fuck, I'm happy to be living off of my music.
as young as you are in your 20s, okay, you should be proud of yourself for making that work and having that come into fruition for you.
Thanks, man. I genuinely appreciate it. It means a lot.
You got a lot of talent in your band. How did all of that come together with picking the right people for you, or was this something that you have already had established prior to your albums coming out?
No, it's always been kind of complicated. We've always kind of switched people a little bit. Our bass player is never consistent. Like we've never had like one bass player. So on the albums, I'm actually playing the bass, and I'm
Oh,
doing
okay.
basically everything except the drums and some vocals that Josh is doing also. So it's all me and Josh on the album. It's
Oh,
all
wow.
me doing everything, and I even mixed the whole thing myself.
That's amazing, man. I mean, there.
No, no, I'm devoted. I like what I do, but I'm also really obsessed with what I do, and I mean, it's honestly it's crazy to pull that off. If you think about it, like an album like this, having it done by only two people, that's pretty crazy. But I mean, we're obsessed with that stuff.
I'm beginning to become more of a fan now than I already was just hearing this from you.
Awesome, that's what we want.
And, a lot of people say rock is dead, but, I'm speaking to someone right now who I don't know exactly your age, but I'm 51. So let's just say you're 25 years younger than me. You are living proof that rock is definitely not dead. And it makes me so happy that a younger generation is carrying this on.
Yeah, man, that's what it's all about. We love rock and roll, and hopefully, on tour we can kind of keep it alive and bring it to more people.
Speaking of being on tour, I know you're starting in February of 2026
Yep.
and you're coming to the US. Now, you have a lot of shows booked, and we're going to talk about that here in a few minutes. But I got to ask you, if you could tour, whether you were opening or whether you were the headliner, what band other than Van Halen would you want to be on tour with?
That's a tough one, but like off the top of my head, I'd say Guns N' Roses. I love that band so much, and they're huge and they're doing tours, for a long time now, like many years, and they're doing huge shows. And I think it'd be amazing to tour with them. AC/DC is another one that I would absolutely love to tour with, and I saw the band once, and it was the best show I've ever seen in my life. So yeah, these two bands would be amazing to tour with.
Well, fingers crossed, there's still time with Guns N' Roses. I don't know so much about AC/DC. They're kind of winding
Right,
down.
right, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, Guns N' Roses, it could have happened. Maybe one show or something. That'd be sick.
Yeah, man. Now, I know they're coming to PA, Pennsylvania. I
Right.
believe it's in July of this year, but I don't know exactly where you'll be. I don't think you're going to be in Pennsylvania because you're actually coming to Pittsburgh. I believe it's February 9th.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. Somewhere around that time. But in the summer, I have no idea yet. We're probably going to be playing festivals. Hopefully, we're working on that. So yeah. And I mean, it's possible that we go back to the U.S. later in the year. Also, I mean, I have no idea at the moment.
Just kind of backing up a little bit, you're going to be at the Craft House. It is a great it's a great little venue to showcase your talents because it's going to be up close and personal.
I'm excited. It's first time. I mean, I've never been to any of these venues before, so I have no like I have no expectation. I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no idea if there's going to be 30 people in there or it's going to be packed or whatever. I mean, all I know is I'm going to show up and I'm going to rock the fuck out, and that's going to be fun. It should be great.
Well, I'm already going to tell you this. It's a Monday that you're going to be there. The show starts at 7:30, and I'm already making plans to come down and see you guys.
Hell yeah, hell, come over and have fun with us. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be loud. It's going to be rock and roll. We're going to have a blast, that's for sure.
So I got to ask you this question, okay? And this could be controversial. So, are you more of a David Lee fan or a Sammy fan?
Yeah, that's no question. That's DLR all the
I knew you. I,
way.
I knew you were going to say that just by the style of music that you're putting out there. So,
Yeah, but I still love Sammy. I think all the albums with Van Halen, I love them. Honestly, I listen to a lot of that stuff. I think it's great. I just think it's completely different. I think like if I think Van Halen, if I think like the legend that Van Halen is, it's the first six albums.
yeah, for me, I'm more of a Gary Sharon fan. No, I'm totally
Yeah,
busting your balls on that.
I know, I know. Yeah, I could tell. I could tell. It was just like pure raw rock and roll, like live off the floor. These first two albums, and I mean, I love all the first six albums, but there's something about those albums. It just sounds raw and live, like a band that's just on fire, jamming. And that's what makes it so unique and great.
There's nothing like kicking a year off with a good rock show. And I was actually scrolling through a app that I have for events that are coming up, and there's not many rock shows that are coming from January up until the summertime. Maybe Journey. That's about it that's coming to Pittsburgh.
Oh,
And then I
really? Oh,
see
yeah.
you coming and a couple other bands, and I'm like, oh, hell yeah, man, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Let's do it. I'm I can't wait to do it. Honestly, I can't wait. And it's the first time that I do something that big too, like a 2 months tour, but back to back like that. The whole U.S. That's gonna be awesome.
Now, other than Eddie Van Halen, I know we focused a lot on Eddie and so forth. Anybody else out there now?
You mean like new guitar players?
Yeah, any new guitar players out there that
I'm not a big fan of a lot of new guitar players, I would say. There's one that I like on Instagram. His name is David Levi. He's a blues player, really really good blues player. I love his playing, picking like fingerstyle picking. Uh, Mostly like Van Halen, Randy
Mhm.
Rhoads, George Lynch, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Steve Lukather, Yngwie Malmsteen, all these guys. You know, these guys from the 70s and 80s, just unbeatable.
after this US tour, are you thinking about a third album already? I know this one was just released. It was what, March or May of
May,
2025?
I think it was May, yeah, May 2025, yeah. I'm always, you know, working on new music for fun, being creative and jamming. I mean, that never stops. And I'm always recording ideas and stuff like that. But as far as like releasing another album, I'm still kind of, you know, on a break from that right now. It's just, I'm not ready for that.
Just stay focused on conquering America. That's what you need to do.
That's what I want. Yeah, that's what I want.
Absolutely. I think that's the best thing to do.
I agree. I agree. I mean, we have to get out there for the first time. You know, it's we just have to jump and test the waters.
Before I let you go, where can people find your tour dates, grab tickets, and follow Deraps online at?
Everything is on durapsofficial.com, my official website. You can find everything, all of the tour dates and merch and you know the albums, all that stuff. Durapsofficial.com.
You know, I went on there today and I was going to look at getting a t-shirt, and the one I wanted was already sold out.
It's possible, yeah. I'm starting to be out of merch a little bit.
Well, you got to get some for the tour that's coming up.
I gotta get some. Yeah, I know, I know.
So, any final message for the American rock fans who are about to experience you live for the first time?
Well, come rock with us. Come have a blast. We're gonna have a lot of fun. It's gonna be loud. It's gonna be rock and roll, just like you know in the '70s, loud guitar, in your face rock and roll, real authentic rock and roll. So make sure to come out and have fun with us. I think that's all I have to say.
Well, you know, thanks so much for joining me today. I personally cannot wait to see you light up that stage down at the Craft House. And
Awesome, awesome. You know, I'm excited. I can't wait. Seems like a great place, like you said. So I'm excited.
I will
You
see
too,
you
man.
then on February 9th down at the Craft House.
Absolutely. See you then. Thanks for
Uh,
having me. Appreciate it.
You know, after talking to Jacob, all I can say is he gets it and he got it. Pure rock and roll brain, a genius, a guitar hero in the making. And listen, if you are in and around Pittsburgh, February 9th, 7 p.m. at the Craft House, you need to mark that date down right now because Deraps is bringing their first ever North American tour to the Steel City. This is their first time on the continent, folks, and they're coming to tear the walls down at the Craft House. And believe me, they are going to leave their mark on Pittsburgh. They conquered Japan, so you know they are going to conquer North America. You know you want to be there because this is the kind of show you are going to tell people about years later when they are selling out arenas. You'll be able to say you were there at the Craft House when they brought the Sunset Strip sound to Pittsburgh and absolutely destroyed the place. Jacob, thank you so much for the interview. Good luck on the North American tour. I will see you February 9th at the Crafthouse. Viva rock and roll! This is Joe Augustine with Gen X Marks the Spot podcast. Peace out. Props everyone for listening.